Hi, I'm Barbara, and I'm making my very first podcast with Peyton. He's like my adopted grandson. So I've never had a relationship with either one of my grandmothers because we were a military family and we were moving all the time. And I was looking forward to my children having children, but none of my children have children. So I've had a dog and I've had a couple cats as my grand fur babies. And mom and I knew each other, and she bought a house here in the community where I live. And I began teaching Peyton how to cook when he was really little. He had to stand on a chair actually to be at the counter. I remember, what's the first thing I taught you? Eggs in a basket, and then how to do bacon in the
Yeah,
oven. Yeah.
bacon in the oven.
Yeah. And why did I teach Peyton how to cook? Because his mom doesn't know how to cook. And my mom taught me how to cook. And I took home ec when I was in high school. So I've always loved to cook. And it was a perfect opportunity to teach Peyton how to cook so that he would have a love for cooking that my son has. And I taught him when he was a little boy too. So when I realized that I was never going to have any grandchildren of my own, I decided that Peyton was going to be and I'm glad that he was okay with that because he's like the best grandson that a grandmother could ever have. And it's because of him being willing to be my grandson that I'll have the opportunity to be and do what grandmothers do. And I missed out on that as a child, but I was going to miss out on it as an adult. But now I get to experience all those things that grandmothers get to do. So today at Volunteer, Tall Paul said that he thinks it's wonderful that Peyton wants to learn things from his grandmother. And I think we all want to learn things from our grandparents. They're older and they're wiser and they've lived a long time. So I've had lots of things to teach Peyton. I'm 69 years old. I'll be 80 in October. I don't know when my clock will be done or when my time will be done here on Earth. So I feel a little urgency to share as much with Peyton as I can. Let me introduce you to Peyton. So here's Peyton, my grandson.
Hey, Papa. Love you.
I love you too.
I'm Peyton. And yeah, you're not just sharing the information with me, but with the world now.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Is that exciting?
Yes, it is. Because I've learned a lot. And sometimes I've discovered that I don't necessarily have to read the whole book to get an important message from the book. So you don't have to do 17 years worth of personal growth work like I did to learn the things that I've done. But if you're having an issue or a problem, one of those tools may be helpful for you that you don't know.
Yeah. And I'd say you've definitely, especially times where I've been stressed or I don't know how to deal with something in life, like I've come to you and you've given me honest advice and it's helped me out a lot. So,
What's one big thing that I've taught you that's been paramount?
First thing that comes to mind, the dating advice is pretty good.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I was just telling truth. I was just telling truth.
I think there's been times I've tried to be someone else when pursuing a romantic relationship, and you've reminded me a lot of times that I'm good enough
You're
the way
good
I am.
enough. You're better than most. You're good enough. And I feel like the most important thing I keep coming up against is to love yourself, to be loving and accepting of yourself, and to see that you are perfect.
Yeah.
Divine creator doesn't make any mistakes because he's perfection. So we come down as a soul and we're perfect, and we're perfect until we're not perfect. If we're corrupted, get corrupted, or be out of love and do non loving things.
So just because it's the first episode, I kind of want to just start with the baseline. What's your full name? Where are you from? Like any official date of birth, or you just have you?
I
Did you
my
just spawn in?
a stork brought me in.
Okay.
That's what they used to say. I have to tell you, I was born October the 8th, 1946, at St. Joseph's Hospital on the hill near Haight Street and Ashbury. There's a hospital up there. And I was born there. My mom and dad had my sister Carol, and my mom had a sister from her first marriage. So when I came along, we were a family of four because once Shirley got married, I was 5 years old, and we were back into the military.
How many siblings did you have?
I had
Or do you
two
have
siblings, two sisters.
two sisters? Okay.
Yeah, one of them, her name is Shirley. She's 91. She lives in Colfax, and Carol is 82. She lives in Millbrae. But
Wow.
for most of my life, it's just been Carol and me and mom and dad
Gotcha.
traveling around the world.
What's your earliest childhood memory?
And I don't have a lot of memories of I really don't. My sister
Yeah.
Shirley remembers anything and everything and everybody's name and what she was wearing that day. I don't remember anything, but I remember we were in Japan, and I've seen this picture triggered me as a little girl. I was 5 years old, and I was dressed really cute with a dress with a coat, and probably had gloves. That's what they did in those days. And I was walking down the street and I looked so cute. What I was really feeling is that I was afraid of falling in the toilet because in Japan there's holes in the ground
Oh,
at a place you put your feet on, and you just squat down and you pee.
well, they don't have toilets in Japan. Like they have like toilet seats.
Well, not when I was living there. That would have been
What?
52, 50, let's see,
1952.
yeah, something like in 1952, 53.
And how long did you live in Japan for?
The first time we were there for 3 years, and then we
Okay.
went to military school. And the second time we were there, I was first 2 years of high school.
Gotcha.
We lived in outside Tokyo.
Dang. And it was just normal. Everyone just squatted down. And
I never watched anybody do it, but I figured I was too scared to do it. I
Yeah.
probably
You
just
thought you'd
held
fall
it.
in. Oh wow.
That's my first vivid memory,
Huh.
and I don't remember much before then. Or
What was your
going
bedroom
to
like in
Japan.
Japan? Do you remember like what was the house like?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I have no recollection of what it looked like. All I remembered is that my mom had a maid and a dressmaker, and they only spoke Japanese. And so every country we lived in, my father wanted us to learn the language out of respect for the country. So I do know Japanese and Italian and Turkish, although Japanese I learned when I was younger, and that's so I've remembered it more, probably
Huh.
because I learned it when I was young.
Wow. Dang, and I barely know English. But
You learned Chinese when you were
yeah, that is
in
true.
daycare, but
Yeah.
would you recognize words or would you pick it up if you were exposed to it?
I don't even remember being able to speak it, but yeah, I before I started like preschool, I went to a Chinese daycare for like almost 2 years, I think. And yeah, I was like, apparently I knew Chinese. It was
Mandarin
just Mandarin
Chinese.
Chinese. And yeah, my mom told me that one time, like we were at like a Sizzlers, and there was a Chinese family like at a table across from us, and I went up to them and I started like having a conversation with them. They said my Chinese was good, but yeah, now I only know English. I wonder if I learned it again, if I'd pick it up or, but I really don't remember any Chinese.
My lineage is Scotch, Irish, French, English. So when Gary was in high school, he decided that if he's part French, then he would be able to speak French easier. And he had a natural ability to speak French,
Hmm.
his teacher said.
Yeah,
So maybe that's, you know,
maybe I'm Chinese.
or you could have a job that links you to China for.
Yeah, honestly, that probably would help me a lot if I do want to learn another language eventually. Yeah, yeah, maybe Chinese is the first one I should learn.
Because it's been familiar.
Yeah, wow.
You were telling me the other day that you're going to go back to school in
Yeah,
the spring. What are you going to take?
I'm really focusing on just my associate's degree. I want to get a AA in engineering technology and manufacturing. So I did think about an engineering degree for a little bit, but I know the schooling is rough for an engineer, and I'm really more of a hands-on guy. I don't really want an office job. So I thought it would be cool if I could start off just working with the engineers instead of just diving straight into it. So that degree will give me the ability to help make whatever the engineer designs, test it. It's probably going to be mostly testing. There's something called an analysis failure technician. And yeah, you're just working with the engineers and figuring out if their design really works or not.
Good.
And yeah, if I like that, if I do well in that, I'd probably look into an engineering degree.
So I want you to share with the audience how you graduated from high school a year early. You graduated from high school a year early and you wanted to be a paramedic and then a
Yeah.
fireman and then a fireman chef. And you had experience with
I've
all of
jumped
those things.
yeah, I've jumped around. Like I never really liked school too much. I like learning. The environment just wasn't great. I
I,
really
th-
didn't enjoy
I
it.
think that the secret is if it's something that becomes your passion, you want to learn all
Yeah.
about it, want to learn all about it. But if you just do mundane memorizing, it's just,
Yeah. I was diagnosed with ADHD, and they have a program called the 504 plan. And it's, oh, since you have ADHD, you could take a little longer with your homework. You could take a little longer tests. And I was so stubborn, and that really turned me the wrong way because I was like, why am I being treated like, oh, he can't do the same things in the same amount of time as these kids? Give him a more of a break. I didn't want to feel like I was mentally disabled or.
so how come people growing up tell you that and you believe that it's true?
What do you mean? Like how?
Who tells you that you have HD, AD, whatever it's called, and that you have to take a little longer to study? Or the same thing if somebody calls you stupid and then you start feeling like you're stupid. And then you have an interaction with somebody who goes, see, they think I'm stupid too. Somewhere along the line, things that are said to us repeatedly, we take on as data and we believe it. And what kind of things that did you grow up maybe experiencing yourself where people told you things that weren't true about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you're pretty spot on with that. Like,
So who are you? You're figuring out who you are, right? You're not Peyton, the Mai Tai winner.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Yeah, I do Muay Thai. I'm going to
Mai Tai
Thailand for a month
sounds
to
like a
train.
drink, right? Muay Thai. It the what you do for that's a passion, that's a love, shows who you are more than what you read in a book. And you're at that place now where you're finding out what you're not. Like you're not a fireman, you're not a paramedic, you're not this, you're not that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I can be an engineer. So you're at the perfect place to decide what you want to do the rest of your life. And I don't remember anybody in my life knowing what they were going to do for the rest of their life at 19.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird place to be in because I know there's people my age already damn near graduating college and people already have their whole path set, it feels like.
Maybe they have their path set and yours is going to be however long it'll take you to set it. But
Yeah.
it's going to happen and it's just going to happen at the right time.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to wait for something to happen there in order to be ready for you. Isn't that an interesting concept? You think it's all about you, but it's really about one door closes and another one opens. So when the other door opens, that's the time to try that door. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And at this time in your life, you have no big responsibilities with mortgages and babies and expensive cars and homes and stuff. So now's the time if you want to travel or do Muay Thai and go to Thailand and learn more Muay Thai. This is the time to do it because you're unencumbered.
Yeah. I think I've gotten a lot of comments on it being like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, like I know people think my path's been weird. I think my path's been weird. Like I've bounced around. Like I'm going.
What's weird? Tell me you're weird.
Well, I graduated a year early. I went to EMT school. Yeah, I tried being a firefighter. I've been to 3 different colleges and I'm only 19.
Yeah.
Like I've bounced around a lot. I've changed my mind a lot, but it just like, and there's been times I've doubted if that was the right choice. But now that I'm like, now I feel like I'm living my life better than a lot of people.
Good.
Like
Good.
I'm doing what I want to do. So yeah.
I think that's exactly what you learning at your age is something that people don't ever learn. They're just fall into a relationship with somebody and have a child and all of a sudden
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of responsibility on them and they don't have time to even pick and choose what they want to be. They just take anything that they can to support their family.
Yeah, that's thankfully that I've not had that issue.
So I know that the audience doesn't know this, but you haven't had a dad in the home for most of your life. But I know that you've had men in your life that your mom has brought in to help teach you man things. Can you address that a little bit, how that has enhanced your relationship of what it is to be a man?
That's interesting because I like that question. You could have like I do have a lot of good male role models in my life, but they're not going to be around like the majority of the time like a dad would be. And so I am thankful for them. Like I have mentors like my Muay Thai coach, my big brother, my mom's boyfriend. Like they've all been like taught me a lot about being a man, but like they haven't seen me like fail really. Like they haven't seen me at like low points. Or maybe they have, but it's different.
Maybe they don't know your low point yet.
Yeah. I just think like I still feel like I had to figure out a lot of being a man on my own. Even though I have had male role models, it just there's some things only a dad who's around you all the time could really teach you. And if you don't have that, yeah, you kind of just got to figure it out on your own. And I'd say that's you kind of know if a guy's a mama's boy a little bit. It's usually pretty easy to tell because I don't want to say they're a little more flamboyant, but like
Yeah.
like I'm raised around emotional people. Like I know how to talk to women and connect on a deeper level probably a lot easier than a guy that was only raised around men that are just like, yeah, pretty much the opposite.
So maybe you would say that you're more emotionally balanced with your masculine and feminine.
I would say so.
I think that's great.
Yeah. There's a lot of pros to being a
Do you
mama's
think
boy.
do you think it's hard to understand women? Men say that women it's so hard to understand women, but women think it's pretty easy to understand.
In all honesty, it depends on the woman.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's some women where you're just like, I have no clue what you're thinking. I don't know what you're about to do next. But I would say for the most part, guys are the one that are like overcomplicating it.
Yeah.
And I'd say I've had that problem too, where like you just come up with a lot of assumptions and you're just trying to fill in the gaps. But really, yeah, women are people too. You communicate with them like anyone else. And I don't think women are more complicated.
Yeah. Maybe it's an excuse to not try and communicate with us more because
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. I think, yeah, for guys too, for male relationships, you don't always really need to communicate all the time. If guys are a lot better with, oh, if something happens, just brush it off and keep going. And I think women, they want to make sure like,
we talk about
yeah, you talk about it pretty much. Guys can just move on and forget about it.
We have to solve what
Yeah, it's valid.
We have to solve whatever this is that happened.
Yeah.
And that usually ends up with hugging and kissing each other and learning and saying, I'll be more mindful. I didn't realize I hurt your feelings and I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. And then you hug it out. But if you don't talk to each other, I've talked to you about this. How do I know what you're thinking if you don't tell me?
Yeah.
And we had communication problems where I realized I have to be direct in what I need from you. And so what I needed from you was to communicate to me.
Yeah.
But you were wishy-washy or you were young. You were probably 17 or 18. But it's all in learning. And don't be so hard on yourself. Oh my God. I didn't even know that I didn't love myself. I didn't even know that I had thoughts about myself that I believed that were true that aren't true.
It's almost subconscious a little bit.
Yeah. Your subconscious remembers everything. And the ego thinks that they're going to keep you under control. So I wanted to, last night I had a thought that this might be the perfect opportunity to talk to you about the first book that I read that changed my life, and that was The Four Agreements. And I was in the East West bookstore and
Would you say this was like a turning point in your life?
oh, it absolutely was.
Okay.
And I had done a lot of personal growth work before then, or had done some personal growth work.
How
And
old? What's the age range?
I think I was like in my 45, I think, when I left my marriage. So I might have been in my early 40s, something like that.
Okay.
There comes a time, it seems, that when you're 40 and 50, things seem to make better sense. I forgot why I was before I even said that.
You're talking about the four
The four
agreements.
agreements.
Yeah, you.
So I have to tell you that I'm 79 years old, and sometimes I'll have another thought and then I'll forget what I was going to say. And so somebody like Peyton has to remind me what I was starting to say
I have
so that
ADHD. I already got that at my age.
it gets worse when you're older. Brain cells, I don't know. In any event, the book, The Four Agreements, really changed my life. And it's Don Miguel Ruiz. And I gave you a book. I'd given that book to so many people. I think I gave one to Anna Marie for her kids. When I was teaching at Federico's Beauty College, I taught the assumptions to my students, or the Four Agreements to my students, because it's been profound. And we'll just say the first four agreements are to not take anything personally, because sometimes it isn't about you. There's like a whole chapter on each agreement. So right this moment, I'm not going to go in depth on that, but I always took everything personally. What did I do? What did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Why don't they want to be with me? If you say you love me, why aren't you going to be with me? What did I do wrong? It was always about me. And then I had this learning that it was from the four agreements that it wasn't really all about me, because you might have had a bad day and the interaction we have is because you're having a bad day, not about me. But then if I have that, I'll automatically think, what did I say? What did I do? So we have to remember not to take everything personally and just stop and think, is that about me or is that about them, the other person?
Sometimes that's a hard question to answer too, I'd say. But yeah, continue. What are the
The other
agreements?
one would be to not make any assumptions, because we all know that assumptions make an ass out of you and me. And what if? So I'll use an experience that I did myself. Okay. I was at the grocery store and I saw somebody that I knew. I didn't want them to see me. So I evaded them, avoided them, walked down other aisles so they wouldn't see me. And then I don't know why I did that. I just didn't want to talk to them. But sometimes that would happen and people would assume, like, why is she being so rude? I'm not being rude. I'm just being invisible. I just don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So if you make assumptions, your mind can go crazy making assumptions. And then pretty soon that you start believing them. And chances are they're not real.
Yeah,
They're not
like a
true.
false reality that
A
you
false
created.
reality. So if you have a relationship with somebody and you think you're making an assumption, you say, am I right or wrong in assuming that you're hanging up on me is not personal to me, or whatever you want to say? Another one that was really important was always do your best. And people can't argue with you if you do the best you can do. So if you have the intent to do the best you can do and somebody finds fault with what you've done, all you have to say to yourself, I did the best I can do. Now, if you didn't do the best you could do, you could admit that to yourself. That's personal growth work. You admit that to yourself and decide next time you're going to do the best you can do. I had a family member that was upset with me because I wasn't spending my free time with them, but I was working 5 days a week and all day Saturday, and I taught at night. So I really only had one day off. And so she has her perception of me, and I have my perception of me. So it was up to me to let her know that I'm doing the best I can. I'm
Yeah.
working, and I've only got one day to do the laundry and shopping if I'm going to do shopping or run errands or make dentist appointments or doctor's appointments. So I did the best I could.
You spent the only free time you had with her, and she said pretty much, "Oh, you're not
I wish
giving
you
me."
had more time to spend. And I said, I'm just doing the best I can. And in her reality, she's married, and my aunt was living with her, and they were financially okay and healthy okay. But I was newly out of my marriage, and I was trying to support myself. I was running my own business and then teaching
Mm,
school at night. So I had obligations to fill financially for myself that she didn't have to worry about. And I didn't have somebody else at home to help me do anything. So it's not like somebody else could run the errands for me.
what did she say after you told her like,
There
"Hey,
was
I'm doing the
nothing she could
best"?
say, which surprised me. She just
Yeah.
had nothing to say because I was doing the best I could do.
Yeah.
And I think that's up to the other person. And I said, I'm willing to hear your side if you're willing to hear my side, because there's
Yeah.
two sides of the story.
And then what's the last agreement?
The last was to always do your best, make no assumptions, don't take it personally. And the other one is be impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
And that means that you have to be impeccable with words you use to talk about yourself. Because if you're using words to talk about yourself that aren't loving, you're not hearing the right words for yourself.
Yeah. I that's honestly the one agreement I've really been like focusing on and learning a lot about this year. I think I've always talked negatively about myself. Most of the things I say about myself are probably negative. I'm like, yeah, you're like, oh, that what I do is stupid. I need to lock in. But yeah, your words have power.
They
Whatever you say, there's a good chance it could happen.
Your thoughts are as powerful as your words because your thought has a vibration too, and it goes out into the universe. And people have said to me for years, you create your own reality. And I've thought, oh, yeah, okay. But I'm
Sorry.
getting that. I'm getting that. That's true. We do create our own reality. And when I was contemplating this a couple of years ago, I was getting in the car and driving to Carla's in San Carlos, and I was envisioning a car accident or something happening to me in the car. And I found out that somebody else said that was happening to them too. And I said, what did you do about it? And he said, nothing. So when I started thinking a negative thought, I said, cancel. There I go, cancel,
I thought you were about to
cancel,
tell me a final destination
cancel, cancel,
that like you thought about a car accident and then like you got
cancel,
into it.
cancel,
You just canceled it.
cancel,
Why didn't they think about that in Final
cancel.
Destination?
And I did it unconsciously and consciously
Just
for
any
enough
bad thought.
time that I wasn't having negative thoughts anymore. Now, I've had negative thoughts for my whole life, and all of a sudden, I'm not having negative thoughts.
Yeah, the mind's a powerful tool.
It's a very powerful tool. I love being a grandma. I love. Next time, I'll make you some cookies. Doesn't grandmas do
Thank you,
that?
Grandma.
Yeah.
That chocolate you brought over,
Yeah.
I was like, I gorged myself with it last night. It's so good. The almond like salt dark chocolate. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Did you try any with the raspberry? There was some with.
Oh,
No, I
I
have
didn't
some
get to that
in the
one yet.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mom didn't want me to leave it there because she's going to try and lose 20 pounds. But I said, Peyton needs to gain 20 pounds so he can
Yeah.
eat it. I think
You keep bringing over delicious like pastries and some of my mom's torture, and she's. I'm just.
I know that when Dawn and Vicky, when Dawn was passing away on hospice, and I know Melva, she doesn't leave her house and go anywhere. So I saw treats at Costco and I bought a couple packages and then I made a one for your house and one for Dawn and Vicky and one for Melva
Oh.
so that they could have chocolate covered croissants or things like that. What am I going to do with a whole package of croissants? I just give them away.
Croissant.
Yeah.
What was your? I got a good question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What was your 20s like?
Oh, 20s. Okay, so we lived in Naples, Italy, and I was a kindergarten teacher
Oh wow.
at a NATO school.
NATO
school. And a lot of my students, when their husbands, when the wives and husbands would have R&R, the ship may come into the pier, Naples Pier, and then the wives would get to go little R&R with their husbands. So they would hire me to stay at their house, and I would babysit my students so they could go R&R with their husbands. So I had multiple sources of income. And I also worked at the NATO beach where we had ice cream and I don't even remember what we had. Ice cream and water.
The Italian ice cream?
I don't remember. We might have had hamburgers or hot dogs, but see, I don't remember. Yeah.
Did you spend all your 20s in Italy?
I was 20 and 21. I turned 21.
Okay.
In Naples, Italy, and then I came back to the States. So we were, important to know, we were 5 days after I graduated high school in Bangor, Maine, we were on our way to Ankara, Turkey. We spent 2 years in Ankara, Turkey, and 2 years in Naples, Italy.
Okay.
So when I came back to the States, I went to Massachusetts for a while. But I'd been out of the States for 4 years, so I didn't do drugs. I wasn't even exposed to drugs. I didn't know how to dress because we ordered from the Spiegel catalog or the Sears and Roebuck's catalog for our clothes when we were overseas.
Oh, wow.
So I came back and not being hip, and I spent a year in Massachusetts, and then I came to the Bay Area. My mom was in South City, and my dad was in Vietnam. So I stayed with my mom, and I went to beauty college. But I didn't know anybody because I didn't grow up there. I didn't go to school there. I didn't go to bars. I didn't know how to meet people. And I remember at the time, this is going to sound crazy, at the time, which was 1967, 68, if you weren't married by the time you were 23, you were considered an old maid. And I didn't want to be an old maid. So
imagine that.
I did not want to be an old maid because I was groomed by my parents to grow up, fall in love, have children, live happily ever after, have Sunday dinners and grandchildren and blah, blah, blah. And that's really not what happened, but that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
So not many girls are raised now to be a homemaker.
Yeah. Some girls aren't even out the house by 23, still living with their parents.
Yeah, I got married at 23. Yeah, and we were married 26 years. I had a daughter, Christine, who's now 53, and a son, Gary, who's now 47. I said, what a 43-year-old mother, a 43-year-old son calling his mother out. And he said, Mom, I'm 47. I said, how did you get to be 47? Oh my God. They keep aging. Keep aging.
Man.
What I want to say is that why this is important to me.
Yeah, that's probably a good conclusion. What made you want to start this podcast? Why is this important to you?
Because I'm in heart failure. And I don't know how much time I have. And I have all this inside of me, and I want to share it, and I want to give it away. I want to teach you everything that I know. And then I'll feel like I've really accomplished something, because I know so much more at my age now that I could share with you, that I think doing this podcast is going to change our lives. Who knows how it'll change our lives, but I think we've put something in motion now. And I hope that somebody who doesn't have a grandma, or somebody who wants to be a grandma, might be inspired by finding a young man who needs a grandma. But I've got you. I got you. So nobody else can have me.
I'm reserved
Yeah,
for Wise Baba.
You're reserved. So you used to call me Baba.
Yeah.
And as an adult, you were saying, "You are so wise, Baba." And to tell you the truth, I've had people tell me things, but they've never told me that I'm wise.
That honestly surprises me. I at least think you're wise.
Maybe it takes a grandson to think you're wise, because we all have a dynamic with our parent. No matter who you are, you always have a dynamic with your parent, that it's your parent. And when it's a grandma, the dynamic is different. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity, and I hope that we can inspire some people to adopt a granddaughter or a grandson.
Yeah.
And I think that if powers that are being, Arthur could be one of my grandsons too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for context, Arthur's a neighbor.
Who does he look like?
He looks like you when you were younger. Yeah. Yeah. He's a ginger.
He's got bright red hair.
He should honestly come onto the podcast sometime.
Yeah.
He might be another guest.
Yeah.
You could have.
I have to check and see if he was going to go with his mom to Colorado. I don't know if they've gone or not, but we could check. But when he comes to visit his dad, he'll be for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe and just like you, he's moved around a lot too.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe he can send us a little clip.
Yeah.
Video clip.
A little
we can
feature.
Pop it in. So we don't know what we're doing. But that's not going to stop us, right? Nothing stops. The only thing that's stopping me is that there's so many things I don't know how to do. So I've started point blank asking for things that I need. And I'm like surprised that everything is showing up that I need. The people with
You didn't think this podcast was going to happen so soon, huh? Did you think it was going to come into motion like this?
No.
It should be fun.
It should be fun, and if anything, we'll laugh and we'll have a good time, and it just makes more memories for us that'll last you a lifetime. And when you remember me,
yeah,
I
think this was a good idea.
Yeah. So Peyton, thank you for being my first guest on your podcast.
You're welcome.
We're deciding whose podcast this will be, but it'll be Wise Baba.
This is your podcast. It's literally your name.
It'll be Wise Baba.
Wise
Do you think
Baba.
That's a good name for it?
Yes, I think that has to be the name.
Wise Baba.
It's already the intro.
Should it be like Ask Wise Baba, or My Grandmother Wise Baba, or I Want You to Know My Wise?
Ask Wise Baba would have been good. I feel like we got to stick with Wise Baba. Though.
Wise Baba. Okay. Wise Baba it is. Okay. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh.
How did we do?